Hey there everyone, this is Mysticfish and welcome to episode 14 of our Factorio series on building a cellular megabase. Last episode, we addressed the thundering herd problem and continued to refine our blueprints for mining cells, especially to avoid the case of having a bunch of inbound resources trains all coming in at the same time. We managed to get ourselves a nice little traffic jam down here. So hopefully we have fixed that. What we want to do this episode, we now have actually a global information network here for the Megabase. And I think what I want to do here is to build a brain cell. So I want to have some things that will do some monitoring and alarms on behalf of the rest of the base. Now, I don't think the brain cell is going to need to reproduce itself because we're really just going to have one of them. However, I do think I want to have the brain cell at least produce the things that it uses. Be able to produce the things that it uses itself. And so, I think what I want to do, I do want to bring a builder train in here. And let's see. I think we are going to need resources coming in so we can build stuff. And I think we can start with a builder train or a building setup for the mining cell. But I think we can simplify this quite a bit. So in particular, I want to come up here, and this is why I have that track disabled, is I want to be able to get rid of some of this stuff that I think we're not going to use. So we're not going to build another builder train for this. And then we don't need the builder train station or any of this stuff. And we don't need this one for going out. So that's okay. And we don't need any of these buffer chests and inserters. So we can get rid of these guys. This will simplify things quite a bit. And then I think we can scale this down a little bit. So I actually want to get rid of some of this oil refining here. So let's get rid of a bunch of this stuff, and we'll just stick with the two refineries, one for advanced oil processing and one for coal liquefaction. Let's see. I think we can at least get rid of probably one of these. Things for cracking, we can probably get rid of two of these, which means that we don't need those or these anymore. And let's see, we don't need construction bots. Let's keep the logistics bots around, but I think we can reduce the number of flying robot frames we're building. I think we can get rid of half of this. We don't have as much that we need to burn off potentially. Then on a related note, I think we can move this stuff up a little bit. How far up do we want to put it? I guess it could go up pretty far. So why don't we put that there? And then we need to wire this in to this guy to here, to here. Let's get you set up, except we're only going to have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you need the red wire going, or the green wire going into there. Okay, then we don't need this or this stuff. But we do need to connect this down here just in case. I don't know that we've ever seen those active, but I'm pretty sure the minute I deactivate them, we're going to need them. So, okay, we may want to manufacture some more stuff. So I think we do want some inserters up here, but we don't need train stuff or the steam engines. We may use the logistics chest, so we'll keep those in here. We don't need the rocket fuel. And in fact, we probably can get rid of one of these solid fuel productions. I guess we'll keep the plastic because we may end up needing some more of these red circuits eventually. So we'll keep those around. We probably don't need radar. I'll keep the cliff explosives. Those are useful, at least for me. We will need the electronic stuff. Should we keep that around? I guess we'll keep those around. Don't need miners. We will keep the electric stuff. Don't need pumps or chem plants or refineries or any of this. We do need the sticks. We don't need the rails. We do need pipes for engines. Okay. Why don't we do that? Then I do want to cover this whole thing in roboports, or at least logistics coverage. So we can get you in like this. I guess you can go here. I guess at this point I can turn my own roboport on, just so I can see what I'm doing. You're gonna come down to there and get power. And then you're gonna come over here and get power. Okay, great. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna stop building stuff myself. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring the builder train in here. Are you inbound? Yes, we have one inbound. So we'll build all this stuff, and then I'll be back once that is done. Okay, we are back. We sent that builder train back on its way back home. And let's see, I do think there's a couple other electronics related things that we want to build here, mostly the wires. We are definitely going to be using those. I guess I need to build these myself, probably. Get all of that. You can become green wires. All right, that'll do that. Let's see, let's make a little room to walk through here. Okay. Let's see. I do want to make some like concrete-y stuff. So let's make concrete in here. I think that means we want to do... Well, there's no point in doing that. That'll work. And then we need a requester chest. We need one of these guys. Okay. That's regular concrete. Then... let's make you be hazard concrete. Then let's have you be refined concrete. You need water. Okay. And then you can be refined hazard concrete. Okay. Good. That will... I guess I have enough stuff that I can build this myself. Maybe I'll just turn on my robots here. Okay. Good stuff. All right, that's all built. So I think let's come down here and start figuring out what we want to build here in terms of monitoring. So I think we can start by bringing our red and green wires over here. And the first thing I want to build is just a little dashboard of supply and demand of our basic resources in terms of train loads. And this is going to be very similar to some of the things that Nilaus built on his Megabase in a Book series, although a few tweaks of my own here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the iron in off the green wire, and we're going to call this X. This will do the same thing, but it's going to get it on the red wire. So the top will be supply, the bottom will be demand. And then we will get, let's just mark that this is going to be iron ore. Iron ore, thank you. And then let's get some lights. Let's do 8. I think that's going to be enough. All right, we need the inputs coming in here. Whoops, I didn't connect them in the right order. There we go. And I think we also want the red wires here. And then I think, let's see, we'll make the supply ones green. So we can do that by putting a green signal. We'll put this on the red wire. So you can go there. And then you will be, if X is greater than or equal to 1, you will light up and you will use colors. So I think we need to paste all that in, and then we're going to make this a logarithmic scale. So we're going to increase by powers of 2 here. And that should let us scale this up pretty far. That was the 16. This is the 32. This is the 64. And this is going to be 128. And wow, if we ever get 128 train loads of some resource, we have clearly done our job well, because that's going to be a pretty big base. Okay, then I think what we want to do is we want to grab this, and then we want to vertically flip it like that. And this should be the demand for iron, for which we don't have any. If I were to make this stone, hopefully that would light up. Okay, that does light up. Okay, good. But we are going to make it iron. Or actually, let's put it stone, because the other thing I want to do is I want to make this guy be, I want the demand ones to be red. So I think we'll do this, and then we can take this from here into here. Okay. That's good. And then I think the last thing that would be fun to do would be to make ourselves a little y-axis here. So if this is 1, this is 2. This is going to be 4. This will be 8. This way it'll make it a little easier for us to read without doing binary arithmetic in our heads. You are going to be 1. And you are going to be 16. And you are the 3. I can copy the 2, then the 6, and then the 4, and the 1, 28. Okay, good stuff. Copy all of this. Flip it. No, that way. Fine, I'll put this here like this, but I have to put this back to being red. Okay, good. I think that's what we want to do. And then what we want to do is grab this stuff and let's put you back to being iron. Do we have a demand for iron? We do have a demand for iron. Okay, so that's working, right? So then we update this to be copper. This is going to be the same. This is also going to be copper. And then we need to connect the green input wire to this one. Then we need to connect the red wires from these guys here to make them green, and the red wires from this guy to these to make them red, and then the input red wire from here to here. All right, next. All right, I'm gonna do this in time lapse because I think we see where we're going, and I'll just set all 6 of these up. We'll be back. Okay, now we've got a nice little dashboard with all of our supply and all of our demand laid out nicely. We have nothing but supply, so that is good stuff. We can see we've got 23 train loads of iron, and so we can see the 16 is lit up, but not the 32. So I think this is working right. Now, I think next we want to set up a couple of, I think we want some alarms here. So where we compare the supply and the demand for various things. So I think we want this to look as follows. We do need these signals coming back down here. Okay. So I think for the green one, I think we want to take the iron ore and we're going to call that X. And then here we're going to take the iron ore on the demand side and we're going to call this Y. Okay, now we are going to use speakers here. So what do we want this to look like? I think we want both of these in here. Okay, first, I think we actually want an actual alert, which is if the supply is less than the demand, we should definitely set an alarm. And in this case, we want a very clear do something about iron alarm for that. Okay, so that's good. Now, I think we also want a soft alarm, which is if the supply, maybe if the demand is always less than half of the supply, I think we're in good shape. But if it creeps over half, then we probably want to, that may be an indicator that we have a resource crunch coming. And so for this, I think we want to do, I think we want to get the same X and Y in here, but what we want to do is we want to do integer division. So we're going to say X divided by Y. We're going to call that a ratio. And then we'll get another one of these and we'll say, in this case, this will be a soft warning. That doesn't matter, but we do show an alert. And in this case, this is if R is less than 2. So if R is less than 2, then we should say, hey y'all, you don't have enough iron. For which, we're actually getting the alarm there. Why is that? Fun fact, in most programming languages, if you divide by 0, you get an error. However, in Factorio, if you divide by 0, you get 0. In this case, we're only getting X in here. And so we're not getting an R out at all. R is 0, and so that's firing the alarm. So I think we have to special case this a little bit, which is that if Y is 0, then we should output 1Y. And we'll use a red wire here, and that turns that off, and this should go away in a minute. It always takes a little bit for the alerts to clear. I guess they do that so that you can see that it fired. All right, that cleared. Okay, and then I think we just want this same thing set up for each of the resources. So let's do that in a time lapse, and then we'll be back. Okay, that's all set up. We seem to have, I wonder if that's a temporary alarm. Yeah, that got cleared. Okay, so that's good. So now we've got loud alarms if our resources go upside down, and we've got some soft alarms, which maybe we'll cover some transient stuff. We'll see if those show up at all. Okay, what do we have next? I think one of the other things that we want to do here is we do have this clock signal that I guess we can put this there. If you remember, we put a temporary clock hanging out over here, and we had talked about moving this to the brain cell, so I think we will actually do that now. So this stuff can go here, And then these signals go from here to here, and then out to there. That puts our not a clock signal D back out here, so that's good stuff. Then I think we want to do a couple more things, which is, what else do we have here? All right, we've got the count of builder trains. So that seems like a good thing to track as well. I think we do something very similar to this, but we flip it, and we get the green wire in here. But instead of this, I think we want miners for the builder trains. And I think we can leave white lights here, that's fine. But I think what I want to do here is I actually just want to make these regular counts. So we'll just count up by ones. A linear scale. And I think we're not going to really care if we have more of a builder train than 8. Or at least not yet. I guess we can always come back and change the way this one works. Okay, I feel like we should put a constant combinator under here and say that you are tracking minor builder trains, and then we can copy this guy, and we can get the green input wire in here, and then change you to be the fluid builder trains, and you to be the fluid builder trains. And does that look right? Three builder trains for miners, 2 for fluids. Okay, that looks actually pretty good. Okay, so yeah, I think that's where we're at. I think we can just wrap this episode up here, because that's mostly what I wanted to do. Have a way to visually see where our resources were at, have some alarms go off if those go haywire, and then have a way to see how many builder trains we have available, and obviously putting a permanent home for the clock. So this is going to be our brain cell. I think that will be good. We'll see if we end up manufacturing some more stuff up here later, but for now I think this will cover it. So that's what we got for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.